Shalom, 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 Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat. And for my detractors, a Delta brim. Well, it's horse and buggy week for me. I'm on call. And I have to fix something I did in the other one that got botched. Asia called. As I always said, they wait until when they come in and they break things every flipping Saturday. For them, it's still Friday for me. At least for another hour. Alright, I'm going to try to go through this as quicker than I did the last time and try to get through this as much as possible. Alright, there's going to be some information below. Feel free to look at it. There's actually a link to a book that most of this is based on, which is the ancient post-flood history from a biblical point of view, or at least from this guy's point of view. And I got it over there, but I haven't had a chance to read it because of work. And I'm going to make use of a person by the name of Rob, some of his grasp, because some things jive, some things don't. I'm in agreement with some things, and I'm not in agreement with others. And some things we'll put up just for a point of discussion, and that for that reason only. Now, let's do a little chronology, right? Adam, which is supposed to be the first human, lived just about 1,000 years. Actually, about 960. Noah and his sons lived about 600. Abraham's generation lived around 200. And Moses, to today, people live in around 80 to 120. Okay. Now, I'm going to quote this, and I know the scripture I got up there is wrong, but I'll just fix it in my head. I don't know why it's wrong, but it is. Luke 17:26. As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be in the days of the return of the Son of Man. Okay, we have increased fallen angel activity. That's true, we did. We have it now. Just nobody sees it yet. But you will. We have Nephilim offspring. We have transhumanism, which is mixing of humans with other species, other animal species. It also can be mixing of technology. More to come. Advanced technology. Remember the whole thing about pyramids, that sort of thing? And it's tech. Rebellion and hostility towards God. You have a lot of that these days. The corruption of God's creation. It is going on now. Interdimensional portals. Reason for the advanced tech. Reason for the pyramid being a large battery. Advanced portals. I'll explain more later. And that I do believe. Worship of gods other than Yahweh. You got pagans and everything else. I work with them. I know. They do. They worship these other deities. And I'll explain that later on. Not in this video. Men thinking of themselves as God. And I'll show you a clip of a person proposing that. Now, let's look at Rob's timeline. And I cropped it a bit just for the presentation. And I'll put the link below to the full panoramic. We have the creation of Adam and Eve in the garden. And it moves forward. We'll just say Enoch is born. It moves forward some more. And you have the Mayan calendar coming in around 3114 BC, which is around the 24th Jubilee. And I'll explain that if I need to in comments. We have dinosaurs according to him. I say, I don't know. I'm not that old. We go into Jephram, Shem, Ham, and was born. And we go into Nimrod, who I will discuss sometime down the road. Let's see, I missed stuff at the top. Let's see, what do I miss? The first generation of Nephilim are killed. Enoch is raptured. So on and so on and so forth. Actually, according to the funky books, the first generation of Nephilim were destroyed, and the demons who created appropriation are sent to hell, placed in chains, and awaiting judgment. He did a naughty thing. But I'll go into more and more later, because there is a lot more into this. Now let's see if I can get through this faster. Who created the dinosaurs according to Rob? Well, he's pulling from Job, chapter 40, verse 15 through 20. And I sort of agree it does fit. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and feeds on the grasses like an ox. What strength it has in its loins, what power in its muscles of its belly. Its tail swings like a cedar, the shroud of its thighs are closely knit. The bones are like tubes of bronze, its limbs are like rods of iron. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker can approach it with his sword. The hills bring it their produce, and all of the wild animals play nearby. Think about it. A lot of the modern translations of the Bible uses a hippo or an elephant or something we currently know today. The tails aren't that long. Animals like, come on, get real. A horse's tail seems to be longer than that. Swings like a cedar? So, Rob's interpretation, it would be like a brachiosaur or a brontosaurus or something along those lines. Some type of sauropod. And you can see grass, right? Well, if we look at the next photo, I went out and looked and I found some of the photos he used, and Lord and behold, these images were created about 1000 BC of dinosaurs. Now, we could write off as other things, but the one to the far right looks like a stegosaurus, if I said that right. And the one to the left, to me, reminds me of a raptor. It does. So if we have these work of arts, where did you come up with the idea? Myth and legends? We're using these things in books today. Might be possible. I'll go more into that later. In the next slide, Genesis 6, verse 12 through 13. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all the flesh that come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them. Well, Rob tossed up an image of a T-Rex. Raptor would also go along those lines. In his general theory, the Nephilim and the fallen angels taught men how to cross DNA things, or they didn't, to create a hybrid from the original. And thus, these creations were made. And I'll go through a possible answer from the military point of view, but like I said, I'm not that old. I went around when these things were around, and I'm going, works, sort of. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes, I'm saying okay. Now, if we go to the next slide, I got a couple other things in here, and I'll go into this probably about 4 videos from now more. I have a mentor, a cedar, and a centaur. These creatures, regardless, have existed in the racial memory of people from Crete and of Greece. And for some time, they've been there nearly forever. Now, if we look at a current movie, I don't know, let's just pick one. I think he picked Star Wars, talking about Yoda. How long do you really think that movie's going to be known? It's just a story, right? Work of fiction. Is it going to be known for thousands of years? Because we're talking about 4,000 years here. It's still in their racial memory. They still have these things. And at one time, it was part of their religion. It has to be a source for legends, a story, or something like that, for it to stay into racial memory that long. Now, let me bring up one more point of view. I'll have to go to my other notes. Let me go down. There is biblical references for cedars in the Bible. Believe it or not. I didn't think it was. I had to go look myself. In the Bible, it's referred to as he goat. I haven't looked up the Hebrew for it, but I need to find time. I just haven't had it. But you can find this within the canon of scriptures. In Leviticus chapter 17, verse 7. In 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 15. And in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 21. It is in the Chronicle of Scripture. And somebody comes in with a better translation, comments below, please. I would love to hear it. I really, really love to hear that. Now,